If you are hearing this, you are one of the 15%, not by chance, but because you were chosen. The world we once knew is gone, reduced to ashes, its cities crumbled, its landmarks erased. The scars of our folly are etched upon the very fabric of our planet, as radioactive isotopes linger like spectral reminders of the horrors we wrought upon ourselves. We, the remnants of a species that once prided itself on its intellect and compassion, stand on the precipice of a new dawn. An estimated 85% of the world's population succumbed to the war and the consequences of it. 7.5 billion souls wiped off the face of the earth in the space of just 5 years. A cruel, silent testament to the destructive power we unleashed upon ourselves. Yet in the charred embers of destruction, a glimmer of hope persists. We have emerged from the darkness, battered and bruised but not broken. We stand on the precipice of a new dawn, a great reset, an opportunity to forge a future free from the mistakes of the past. The war that decimated our world was a tragedy of unimaginable proportions. It consumed countless lives, leaving behind a void that will forever haunt our collective memory. But perhaps amidst the carnage there lies a hidden blessing, for the burgeoning population of our planet had become a burden too heavy to bear. Now, with the horrors we have endured, the threat of overpopulation has been extinguished. We must learn from the mistakes of our ancestors. We will implement strict measures to ensure that never again will our world teeter on the brink of collapse due to unsustainable growth. The Great Reset will be a testament to our collective resolve to build a sustainable future. But the path ahead will not be without its challenges. The scars of the past will take time to heal, and the task of rebuilding our shattered world will be arduous. Yet we must not succumb to despair, for we have survived for a reason. We are the chosen few, destined to shape the destiny of our species. A new world order is emerging, one that will be characterized by unity, cooperation, and unwavering determination. We will rise from the ashes of the old world and create a civilization that is more equitable and more sustainable. Those who oppose this new system, who seek to
Those who oppose this new system, who seek to return to the old ways of conflict and division, will be crushed. We will not tolerate dissent that threatens the stability and progress of our newfound society. The Great Reset will not be easy, but it is imperative. It is our chance to forge a better future, a future worthy of the sacrifices that have been made. Together we will rebuild our world one city at a time. We will create thriving metropolises that rise above the ruins of the past, symbols of our resilience and determination. The earth, too, will heal. The scars we have inflicted upon it will fade over time. As nature reclaims its dominion, the rivers will flow once more, the forests will regrow, and the air will be cleansed. The earth will flourish, and we will be its humble stewards. My fellow survivors, the task before us is daunting, but the rewards will be immeasurable. Let us embrace this great reset with open hearts and unwavering resolve. Let us be the architects of a new world, a world where peace, prosperity, and sustainability reign supreme. Together, we will build a civilization that will be the envy of generations to come. A civilization that will be a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity. May the scars of the past serve as a constant reminder of the horrors of
war and the folly of unchecked ambition. May the Great Reset be a beacon of hope, guiding us towards a future that is brighter than any we could have ever imagined. Let us rise from the ashes and forge a new destiny for ourselves and for the generations that will follow. Let us create a world that is worthy of our sacrifices and a world that we can all be proud to call our home. This is the Great Reset.
Is the Great Reset.
To call our home. This is the Great Reset.
My esteemed delegates, citizens of the united world, in this hallowed hall, as we emerge from the ashes of a devastating conflict, I stand before you to present my vision for a world reborn. A world where the wounds of war are healed and the seeds of a brighter future are sown. I have termed these principles the new commandments, for they shall guide us as we forge a new civilization worthy of our shared humanity. They are not mere laws, but sacred principles upon which our unity, prosperity, and well-being shall depend. Commandment 1. Population control. The ravages of war have taught us the dire consequences of overpopulation. To ensure the sustainability of our planet and our species, we must limit our reproduction to a single child per family. This measure would protect our resources, alleviate poverty, and promote a balanced and harmonious society. Commandment 2. Unwavering allegiance to the united world government. We have witnessed the perils of division and disunity. The united world government shall be our sole authority, safeguarding the interests of all nations and peoples. No other institution shall bear allegiance, for in unity lies our strength. Commandment 3. The prohibition of religion. Religion has been a source of conflict and division throughout history. It is time to transcend these ancient superstitions and embrace a shared scientific and rational worldview. The mention of religious figures is hereby prohibited, ensuring that our minds remain unclouded by irrational beliefs. Commandment 4. The eradication of money. For too long, the pursuit of wealth has driven us apart, fueled greed, and sown the seeds of conflict. From this day on, no citizen shall hold money. The world government will provide for each individual's needs. Commandment 5. The Babylon ship. To ensure the safety and security of all, the Babylon ship will be implanted in every citizen. This absolutely vital technology tracks movement, monitors health, and allows for swift intervention in times of need. No exceptions will be made. Refusal will result in mandatory incarceration, followed by forced implantation as a last resort. Commandment 6. We will live in peace and harmony. We will renounce violence in all its forms and commit to resolving conflicts through peaceful means. Therefore, all citizens are prohibited from owning firearms. The United World Government will possess a limited number of weapons solely for the preservation of order and the protection of its citizens. Commandment 7. The banning of intoxicants. Substances that impair our cognitive or physical abilities have no place in our society. We shall rely on government-sanctioned and administered substances to maintain a healthy and productive population. Commandment 8. The prohibition of seditious speech. Words that incite disobedience or question the authority of the United World Government are strictly forbidden. Such actions erode trust and undermine our collective well-being. Failure to adhere to this commandment may result in severe consequences. Commandment 9. The preservation of nature. The deforestation of our planet has reached alarming levels. We must protect our forests and wildlife for the benefit of generations to come. The cutting of trees is prohibited without official authorization, and violations will be met with strict penalties. Commandment 10. The abolition of private property. The ownership of private property has been a source of inequality and conflict. In the united world, all property shall belong to the state, ensuring that resources are equitably distributed and used as should be for the common good of all. These new commandments are not merely rules, but a roadmap for the future of humanity. They are designed to create a world free from war, poverty, disease, and division. By embracing these principles, we can forge a society where all people are safe, prosperous, and united. Let us leave behind the darkness of the past and embrace the dawn of a new era. Together, let us build a world that is worthy of the sacrifices that have been made and the dreams that we share. May these new commandments guide us as we embark on this noble quest. It is time to build back better. Thank you.
Our civilization, World War III, a catastrophe that should never have been, has taught us a profound lesson. The pursuit of wealth, of individual gain, has led us to the brink of annihilation. But from this darkness, a new dawn is breaking. A world where the pursuit of material possessions is replaced by the pursuit of collective well-being. A world where the shackles of money, that ancient symbol of division and inequality, are finally shattered. Today, I announce the dawn of a new age, the age of abundance, a world where the old order, the order of scarcity and competition, is replaced by a new order of cooperation and shared prosperity. The new world government will ensure that every household receives its basic needs: food, water, shelter, healthcare, education. No longer will the fate of individuals be determined by the whims of the market or the cruel hand of circumstance. We will distribute resources fairly and equitably, ensuring that every human being has the opportunity to flourish. This is not a system of forced equality, but a system of shared opportunity. But this new world order demands responsibility. Those who cling to the old ways, who attempt to barter or use outdated currencies, will be dealt with swiftly and severely. The age of abundance is not a time for greed, but a time for collaboration. We are entering a new era, an era where the human spirit, not the pursuit of material wealth, defines our future. An era where the fundamental human needs of every individual are met, not by the cold hand of the market, but by the warm embrace of a united humanity. This is our future, a future of shared prosperity, a future of peace, a future of hope. Let us embrace this new dawn and together build a world worthy of our collective dreams. My fellow survivors, we stand on the precipice of a new era, an era forged in the fires of unimaginable loss. 85%, that is the number that haunts our dreams. 85% of humanity extinguished, leaving behind a world scarred and broken. Our cities lie in ruins. Homes are shattered, families torn apart, starvation is rife, disease stalks the land, and grief weighs heavily upon our hearts. The world we knew has been consumed by a storm of violence, leaving behind a desolate wasteland. Despair is a powerful force, whispering insidious lies of hopelessness. But I beg you, my friends, do not succumb to its embrace. We are not simply survivors. We are the inheritors of a legacy of hope that refuses to be extinguished. The ashes of the old world are giving rise to a new dawn, a dawn of unity and purpose under a single banner, the new world government. This new order, born from the ashes of our past, offers a path forward, a promise of salvation. It is a path forged in compassion, built on the foundation of shared understanding and guided by new commandments that will ensure the survival of our species. These commandments, though strict, are designed to rebuild, to heal, to foster a world where such tragedies never again darken our doors. I know that many of you are weary, your souls heavy with the burdens of the past, but I urge you to place your faith in this new beginning, to embrace the new commandments, and to work together to create a world worthy of the sacrifices we have made. We have a responsibility to those who perished, a responsibility to build a future that honors their memory. We may be fractured, broken, but within us lies the potential for something great, something beautiful. So let's rise together, rebuild together, and restore hope to this ravaged world. The future is not written. It is a blank canvas waiting for us to paint upon it a world of peace and prosperity. We are the artists and the paintbrush is in our hands. Let us begin. Thank you.
The chosen few who carry the torch of humanity. The old world was built on division, on the folly of nations and borders. It fueled the fires of conflict that nearly extinguished us all. Now we must build a new world, one founded on unity, on shared purpose, and on the unwavering commitment to a future free from the atrocities of the past. To achieve this, to guarantee the safety and prosperity of all, we must embrace a new paradigm. We must embrace the integrated system, a revolutionary technology that will bind us together, ensuring our collective survival. This is essential. This system will utilize a small, biocompatible chip implanted discreetly under the skin. This chip will serve as your key to the new world. It will grant you access to essential resources, healthcare, and communication. It will guide you, protect you, and ensure your well-being. This chip is not about control. It is about order. It is about creating a world where your needs are met, where fear and chaos have no place. It is about building a society where every life has value and where the mistakes of the past are never repeated. By the year 2035, all surviving citizens must be integrated into the system. Those who resist, who choose to remain disconnected from the fabric of our new society, will be offered support and guidance. However, their refusal to participate will ultimately lead to their exclusion from the benefits and security of the integrated system. We cannot afford to harbour those who threaten the fragile peace we have secured. We cannot allow the seeds of discord to take root again. Our survival, the survival of our children, depends on our unity, on our complete and unquestioning commitment to the integrated system. Every parent has a sacred duty to ensure their child's future. This includes integrating them into the system, safeguarding them from the dangers of the old world, and ensuring their place in this new dawn of humanity. The integrated system is not a burden, it is a shield. It is a promise of a brighter future, a future where the ghosts of war are finally laid to rest. Join me, my fellow survivors. Embrace the integrated system. Together, we will build a new world, a world that will stand as a testament to our strength, our resilience, and our unwavering hope for a better tomorrow. Thank you.
And thank you also, Michelle. You are a loyal and cherished friend of the United World Government. My fellow citizens, in the wake of the cataclysm that has befallen our world, a profound change has come over us. The horrors we have witnessed have shattered the old order and left us with the daunting task of rebuilding from the ashes. As we embark on this monumental endeavor, we must confront the lingering remnants of the past that have contributed to the divisions and conflicts of the old world. Among these remnants, religion stands out as a particularly destructive force. In the past, religion has been a source of solace and inspiration for many. However, it has also been used as a tool of oppression, division, and violence. The wars, persecutions, and atrocities committed in the name of religion throughout history are a testament to its destructive potential. In the new world order that we are now building, we cannot afford to tolerate the divisive and harmful influences of religion. We must eradicate it from our society once and for all. To this end, I declare the following measures. The mention of any religious figures, including the fictional character of Nazareth, will be strictly prohibited. This includes all forms of public and private expression, whether written, spoken, or symbolic. All illegal religious gatherings will be broken up by force if necessary, and those who participate in such gatherings will be subject to immediate incarceration. Preaching and other forms of religious proselytizing are hereby forbidden. Those who violate this prohibition will face prosecution of the harshest measures if they fail to comply. The teachings of the old religions must be eradicated. All religious texts, symbols and artifacts will be confiscated and destroyed. Through the integrated chip technology that now monitors all conversations, both public and private, we will ensure that these measures are strictly enforced. My fellow citizens, I urge you to embrace this new world order and to reject the superstitions and prejudices of the past. Only by purging our society of the scourge of religion can we hope to build a truly just, peaceful and prosperous future for all. Remember, the eyes of the world are upon us. Let us show them that we are capable of rising above the mistakes of the past and creating a new society worthy of our children and grandchildren. Thank you.
My fellow citizens of the world, we stand at a crossroads. The ashes of a conflict that scarred our planet still smolder, a stark testament to the folly of division and the destructive nature of unchecked ambition. World War III was a war not just between nations, but between ideologies, between systems that failed to serve humanity. The chaos and devastation that followed, the unimaginable losses we endured, have forced us to confront a harsh reality. Our old ways are no longer sustainable. Today, I stand before you not as the leader of a nation, but as a representative of the newly formed United World Government, a beacon of hope in a world desperate for unity and purpose. We have learned, through the crucible of war, that the pursuit of individual wealth and power too often comes at the expense of the collective good. Therefore, we have forged a new path, a path towards a future where prosperity and security are guaranteed for all. This path, my friends, requires a radical shift in our understanding of ownership. So, effective immediately private property ownership is abolished. All property, land, resources, and infrastructure will be under the stewardship of the United World Government. This may seem radical, even unsettling, but consider this: the world is our common inheritance, and its riches should be shared equally by all. No longer will the fruits of our collective labor be hoarded by a select few while others struggle to survive. Under this new system, we shall ensure that every citizen has access to the essentials for a dignified life: food, shelter, education, and health care. This is not a system of deprivation, but rather one of abundance, where the needs of all are met and the potential of every individual can flourish. We understand that change is difficult, and some may fear the unknown. But we urge you to embrace this new era with open hearts and minds. Let us not be shackled by the past, but instead, let us build a future where the needs of humanity come first. Let us together, as one world, one people, create a legacy of peace, prosperity, and shared abundance for generations to come. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we stand here today in the aftermath of a devastating war, a war that has claimed the lives of 85% of the world's population. We are here to discuss the future, a future where we can learn from our past mistakes and ensure that such a tragedy never befalls us again. Overpopulation was one of the root causes of the conflict that led to the war, and we cannot ignore the fact that it continues to pose a threat to our survival. We must take concrete steps to address this issue and prevent it from becoming a problem again in the future. To that end, we have established a united world government with the aim of creating a more sustainable and equitable world for all. As part of this effort, we are introducing a new law which limits the number of children that each family can have. Under this law, every family will be permitted to have only one child. We understand that this may be a difficult adjustment for some, but we must remember that it is a necessary step to ensure the survival of our species. Providing for a large family in a world with limited resources is simply not sustainable. By limiting the number of children each family can have, we can ensure that every child has access to the resources they need to thrive. Under this new law, families who have a second child will only be provided with the amount of living essentials for one child by the United World Government. This is not a punishment, but a necessary measure to ensure that our resources are distributed fairly and equitably. We understand that accidents happen and that some families may fall pregnant with a second child despite their best efforts. In such cases, we urge those individuals to seek out an abortion clinic immediately. Subsequent pregnancies after the first will also be considered unlawful and will result in mandatory termination of the fetus. This is not a decision that we take lightly, but it is one that is necessary to ensure the stability of our population. Should a family bring forth a third child despite having failed to obtain an abortion when it was available, the state will take the unfortunate but necessary step of humanely exterminating that child. This will be carried out in the most compassionate and dignified manner possible by authorized personnel. Counseling and support will be provided to the parents who have endured this hardship. We understand that this policy is not without its emotional complexities. However, we believe that the survival of our civilization depends on the collective recognition that individual desires must sometimes be sacrificed for the greater good. By strictly adhering to this law, we are not only preventing overpopulation, but also ensuring that every child born into this world has the opportunity to thrive. We will establish a robust system of family planning services and comprehensive reproductive health education to empower our citizens to make informed choices. We will invest in research and development to explore new contraceptive technologies and foster a culture of responsible parenthood. The future of our world rests upon the wisdom and cooperation of each and every one of us. Let us embrace this new era with a renewed sense of purpose and a shared commitment to building a sustainable and equitable society for generations to come. May our actions today serve as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and our unwavering determination to create a better future for ourselves and our descendants. Thank you.
My fellow citizens of the United World, we stand here today not as representatives of nations, but as the vanguard of humanity. The ashes of the old world still smolder, a testament to the folly of division, of nationalism, of endless conflict. The scars of World War III run deep, a reminder of the price we paid for our collective failure. But from the ruins rises a new dawn, a world united under the banner of the United World Government. This is not merely a political construct, but a promise, a vow to safeguard the future of our species. We are one people sharing one planet. Our fates are intertwined, our destinies bound. We have cast off the shackles of outdated nationalistic views, for they serve only to divide us, to pit brother against brother. There are no countries anymore, only one world, one government, one shared destiny. There will be no tolerance for those who cling to the past, who yearn for the broken ways of old, those who seek to sow discord, to undermine the unity we have so painstakingly built, will be treated as traitors to humanity. Their actions, their words will be judged as treason, and the consequences will be swift and severe. The penalty for treason is death. This is not a threat, but a solemn promise. We are not afraid to defend the future we are building, to protect the unity that is the foundation of our survival. This is not a time for weakness. This is not a time for hesitation. This is a time for unwavering allegiance, for unparalleled commitment to the united world, to the shared future of humanity. We stand at a crossroads. The choice is clear. We can either embrace the unity that has risen from the ashes, or we can succumb to the past, to the darkness from which we have emerged. I choose the former. I choose a united world. I choose survival. I choose the future of humanity. And I urge you, my fellow citizens of the united world, to join me in making this choice. Thank you.
Fellow citizens of the United World, from the wreckage of the past, we have painstakingly rebuilt. We have forged a new global government, a united force dedicated to ensuring the safety and prosperity of all humanity. This united world government is not a dream. It is a reality, a testament to our collective will to never again experience such senseless destruction. But this unity, this peace, this fragile world we have built demands vigilance. It demands that we stand together against those who seek to divide us, to sow discord, to return us to the darkness of conflict. Therefore, the United World Government has enacted a new law, a law that will protect the fragile peace we have fought so hard to achieve. This law states that no political party, no political organization, no political institution shall be allowed to operate in contradiction to the ideologies of the United World Government. This may seem a harsh measure, but understand this. Dissent in the face of such a fundamental threat to peace is not merely an expression of opinion. It is a potential terrorist threat. A threat that could unravel the very fabric of our new world. A threat that could drag us back into the abyss. Therefore, the penalty for such dissent will be of the utmost severity. We will not tolerate those who seek to undermine the very foundation of our unity, the very foundation of our peace. This is not about suppressing free speech. This is about safeguarding the world. We have learned a bitter lesson. We have learned that division, that discord, that the pursuit of individual agendas leads only to destruction. We have learned that only in unity can we hope to build a future of peace. This law is not an end, but a beginning. It is the beginning of a new era, an era of global cooperation, an era of shared purpose. An era where the common good overrides individual ambition, where the well-being of all is valued above the interests of anyone. Let us embrace this new era with courage, with hope, with unwavering commitment to the future of our united world. Let us stand together, for no price is too high for peace. Thank you.
My fellow citizens of the united world, to ensure this hard-won peace endures, we must address the root causes of conflict, the vices that have plagued our societies for generations. We must build a world where violence, hatred, and the pursuit of artificial pleasure are relics of a bygone era. Therefore, I announce today a new law, a law for the betterment of all humanity. From this day forward, the production, distribution, and consumption of alcohol and all other intoxicants will be strictly prohibited. This is not a measure taken lightly, but one born out of the lessons learned from the past. The use of such substances has fueled countless acts of violence, weakened our communities, and eroded our collective moral fabric. This law is not about oppression. It is about liberation. It is about liberating ourselves from the shackles of addiction, from the false promises of temporary pleasure, and from the destructive forces that threaten our shared future. There will be no tolerance for those who seek to undermine this law. Those who attempt to manufacture, distribute, or consume these substances will face the full force of our justice system. This includes the death penalty for those who knowingly peddle these poisons to our people. I understand that this law might be met with resistance. Some will argue that it infringes upon personal liberties, that it is an attempt to control our lives, but I ask you to consider the alternative. Do we truly want to return to a world where addiction and violence are rampant, where families are torn apart, and where the seeds of conflict are constantly sown? Our goal is not to suppress joy or enjoyment. It is to ensure that those joys are found in healthy and constructive ways. The world is filled with beauty, with love, with the potential for greatness. Let us embrace those things. Let us nurture them within ourselves and within our communities. In time, the substances that once plagued our societies will fade from memory, replaced by a new era of clarity, unity, and purpose. We have a chance to build a world free from the darkness of the past. A world where every individual can reach their full potential, where peace and prosperity reign supreme. This is the future we are building, the future we are fighting for. Let us all join hands and build this future together. Thank you.
My fellow citizens of the world, we stand at a crossroads forged in the ashes of a war that scorched the very fabric of our planet. The forests, once vibrant lungs of our world, are now scarred and silent. The rivers and oceans, our lifeblood, are poisoned and barren. We are left with the wreckage of our foolishness, a world on the brink. But even in this darkness, hope persists. We, the United World Government, have come together to rebuild, to heal, to ensure a future for humanity. And today I announce a new law, a law of renewal, a law of survival. From this day forward, no individual will be permitted to cut a single tree without authorization. No individual will be permitted to fish for sustenance without authorization. No individual will be permitted to hunt for any reason without authorization. This is not a law of oppression, but a law of necessity. This is a law to protect the remnants of our world, the fragile ecosystem that sustains us all. This is a law to ensure the survival of our species. We understand the hardship this may cause. We understand the need for shelter, for food. But we must remember that our individual needs cannot be prioritized over the collective needs of our planet. We cannot afford to continue the unsustainable practices of the past. The United World Government will be the sole authority responsible for managing our remaining resources. We will issue permits for limited tree cutting, ensuring that for every tree felled, a new one is planted in its place. We will manage fishing quotas to protect our depleted oceans. We will authorize limited hunting, only when necessary for research or to control populations. This is not a time for individual liberty, but a time for collective responsibility. We must act now, together, to heal our world. The future of humanity depends on it. Let us make this law a beacon of hope, a testament to our collective will to survive. Let us show the world that from the ashes of destruction, a new era of sustainability can rise. Thank you.
Gotta retake the radio, take it back, get the word out there, don't give in. Don't swear no allegiance to these sick, twisted sons of bitches. Whatever you do, do not fold. We gotta hold strong now more than ever. Those of you who still have homes, you protect them with your life. Die before you let them take it away. That's what I'm gonna do. These bastards ain't gonna pull the wool over our eyes with their fancy wording and talk of the common good. These are evil, twisted, psychopathic, sociopathic, devil-worshipping, humanity-culling, evil pieces of no-good sons of bitches. We have got to go to war again, a war of refusal, a war of resistance, a war of defiance. We can't let these megalomaniacs get their way and turn our world into a dystopian nightmare. I refuse to live in a world where I can't own property. I refuse to live in a world where I can't practice my religion. I'm not religious, but you get what I'm saying. I refuse to live in a world where I can't speak freely or have as many kids as I want and be able to provide them with the things they need using the money that I have earned. I refuse to live in a world where my every move is being tracked and my every word is being monitored. I refuse. How dare they say they will exterminate a child? I swear to God, if I have no weapons when you come to my door, I will bite your goddamn faces off if I have to. Get the word out there. Resist at all costs. A war of refusal. We will not bow to these sons of bitches. There's still a lot of us out there. There's still approximately 1.4 billion of us. That's a hell of a lot. More than enough to cause a serious problem for them. Do not be tracked. You do not let them scare you into accepting the Babylon chip. If you do, your life is over.
We used to have something, families, friends, dreams. A world that wasn't just dust and ashes, but now Now there's just the echoes of what was my wife, Sarah. She didn't make it, gone just like that. A shard of metal took her right in the chest. And the kids barely knew what a war was. They died of... I don't even know, hunger, I guess. We were all starving, desperate. Didn't matter what we ate, just something to fill the emptiness. There's not much food left, not enough to go around. The New World Order, they call it. Seems they've got all the food, all the supplies, and us, we're just scraps with the forgotten ones. The ones who survived the bombs, only to get swallowed by the New World's hunger. They say they're bringing order, that they're making the world a better place with tracking devices, conversation monitors, day and night. No way to earn a living, slaves to the United World Government, talking about exterminating kids, forcing women to have abortions, not being allowed to own property. It's a complete collective enslavement. What is there? Seriously, what is there to live for in a world like that? I wish I had just died with my family, and yet here I am, trying to survive for some reason, when I should just let myself die. I don't have the will to fight anymore. I don't have the will to fight this new tyrannical system, and I don't have the will to fight, to survive. I've all but given up, and it's a weight off my shoulders, that realization that it's time to just let go now and go and be with my family. I want to see my wife smile again. I want to hug my kids again and hear them laugh. I can't do this anymore.
Must emphasize the gravity of broadcasting without a valid radio license. It is not a mere technicality. It is a violation of trust, an act that undermines the stability and security of our unified world. Those who choose to broadcast without authorization risk spreading misinformation, jeopardizing the very foundation of our collective prosperity. Let me be clear, the United World Government is committed to upholding the highest standards of truth and transparency. We are your trusted source of information, dedicated to providing accurate and reliable updates on matters affecting our shared future. We urge you to rely on official channels for your information and to exercise caution when encountering unverified sources. Remember, each citizen has a responsibility to contribute to a world built on truth and understanding. By respecting the law and seeking reliable information, we strengthen our collective power and safeguard the future we have so diligently built together. Let us continue to build a world where truth prevails, where misinformation finds no foothold, and where our unity remains.
Of cooperation, of a world at peace. For too long, the specter of violence has loomed over us. The tools of war, instruments of destruction, have been wielded in the hands of individuals and nations alike, fueling conflict and tearing apart the fabric of our shared humanity. But no longer. We have learned our lesson. We will not return to that dark path. Therefore, the United World Government, in its commitment to peace and security for all, has enacted a new law. This law will be a cornerstone of our future, a foundation upon which we will build a world free from the threat of unnecessary violence. Effective immediately, the private ownership of firearms is prohibited. This is not a measure taken lightly. We understand that some may feel apprehensive, even threatened, by this decision, but we must consider the greater good, because when firearms are readily available, they become tools not of protection, but of destruction, fueled by fear and anger. We will not allow the ghosts of the past to haunt our future. The United World Government will maintain a limited arsenal solely for the purpose of protecting its citizens during unforeseen acts of unrest. These weapons will be stored securely and used only as a last resort by trained professionals and under the strictest oversight. We understand that many among you possess firearms. Please be assured this law is not intended to punish but to safeguard. We are not asking you to sacrifice your safety, but to ensure the safety of all. We are not asking you to give up your rights, but to embrace a future where those rights are not threatened by the unchecked proliferation of weapons of war. All citizens in possession of firearms must surrender them to an authorized United World Government representative by November the 17th of this year. Failure to comply with this law will result in prosecution and a minimum penalty of 40 years imprisonment. While this may seem harsh, it is a reflection of the gravity of the situation. We cannot afford complacency in the face of violence. We are building a world where peace is not an aspiration, but a reality. A world where every child can grow up safe and free, where every citizen can pursue their dreams without the fear of violence. A world where the tools of war are relegated to the museums of history, never again to be used against each other. This is the future we are building. This is the future we must embrace. Thank you.
It's your main man, DJ Mother Loving Apocalypse, rocking the shit, rocking those hips, nibbling on them BJ lips, and spanking all the wobbly bits. Hungry, I'm tired. I ain't eaten 5 days, y'all. 5 days. And I got like some kind of virus. I'm hot, then I'm cold, I'm sweating, then I'm shivering. My body feels like I am so weak, man. I'm moving around at snail speed, y'all. And it's just nothing, man. No food. I ain't got no roof no more. Just a piece of tarpaulin to provide some form of shelter. But you know me, y'all, never give up. This is my first broadcast in, I think, about 9 months. And since then, billions have died worldwide. The last few months, just, you know, everything went from a war where some rule of law applied, you know, to the complete breakdown of it and complete free-for-all. Who could wipe each other out first scenario by whatever means necessary, just hundreds of thousands wiped out at a time. And I have lost everyone and everything. They're all gone, wiped out by the bombs, the biological weapons, the some from starvation, disease, the viruses, all gone, man. There's just me and whoever is listening, and I don't know how much longer I'm gonna last, y'all. I am skin and bones, man. And yeah, DJ Apocalypse, I ain't doing it well. But I've been listening to these crazy ass mofos, the United World Government crew. Man, I tell you one thing, I might be on the way out, but if I meet one of them batshit crazy world government dudes, or if they try and take what little I've already got away, my skinny ass is gonna unleash the full wrath of DJ Apocalypse on those crazy ass megalomaniacs for real, y'all. I'm gonna be swinging my skinny arms like a Dutch windmill on crack until I knock one of them bitches out, y'all. There ain't no way I'm giving in to them. No way. With every ounce of my being until the starvation finally takes me or whatever else is trying to kill me, I am gonna fight. There ain't no way I'm gonna be living in bad shit, crazy dystopian 1980 motherfucking Orwellian shithole of a world, y'all. Ain't no way. Man, those crazy ass bitches be talking about exterminating kids and shit. Like, what the actual fuck, y'all? With whatever strength we gotta resist, y'all. Do not comply. If we comply, it's game over, y'all. I know that when you look out there, it doesn't look like there's much worth fighting for, but there's still 1.5 billion of us out there, and we gotta fight for the future of the kids, man. We might die doing it, but we fighting for them, y'all.
The war isn't over. We're just in the next stage of it. Whatever weapons you got, you make sure you keep them because you're gonna need them. This is a call to arms. We need to establish an organized global militia and enter this next phase of the war. Our fight is not against other nations because we are one nation of the free, the world movement. Our fight is against united world tyranny, the suppressors of freedom, evil, and high places, the spirit of Satan himself establishing a new world order by means of the wicked men and women who have become his vessels of destruction, the murderers of infants, the abomination of desolation.
10 rules to make us good little sheep, 10 rules to keep us in line. Like we haven't learned, like we haven't already seen what happens when someone thinks they can control everything. They say one child per family, no more, as if it's a blessing, as if they're giving us a gift. What kind of world does that build? A world without laughter, without the chaos of kids, without the music of little voices. And the third child, don't even get me started on the third child. Extermination, they call it. Like we're dealing with a pest, not human beings. They say it's for the good of the world, for the good of the new orders. What kind of good is built on the blood of innocence? What kind of order is built on fear and cruelty? They took everything, our homes, our families, our dreams. Now they want to take our children, our future. But they don't understand. You can't take away hope. Not truly. It might hide, it might flicker, but it never dies. And so when the fire of hope rekindles, when the dust settles, when the world remembers what it means to be human, it will be our children who rise up and fight for what's right. They think they've won, but they haven't. They just started a war for humanity, and we won't be defeated. We're gonna rise up and take back what's ours. Take back our God-given right to freedom, our God-given right to have as many children as we want, our God-given right to worship Him wherever and whenever we please. It's our God-given right to have a home and a future and happiness and to speak freely. We're going to take it back to the United World Government. I say this, you will fail. You will fail, mark my words. Your evil, satanic, devil-driven plans will fail. The Almighty will have the final say.
This is a day of celebration, a day to cast aside the shackles of division and embrace the prosperity that comes with a united world. However, I must address a growing concern, a murmur of dissent that threatens to disrupt the harmony we have forged. There are whispers, rumors, illegal radio broadcasts inciting violence and rebellion. These whispers come from a small, misguided group who cling to the outdated notions of national sovereignty and independence. Let me be clear, this new world order is here to stay. It is the will of the people, the will of progress, and the will of a brighter future. Any attempt to dismantle this order, any act of defiance against the United World Government will be met with the full force of our unified might. Those who engage in rebellion, who spread false narratives and incite violence will be tried for treason. The penalty for treason is death. We will not tolerate any threat to this new world, and we will not allow a few to undermine the dreams and aspirations of the many. The time for rebellion is over. The time for unity has arrived. Embrace the opportunities that this new world offers and cast aside the darkness that seeks to divide us. Let us stand together, a united force, and build a future filled with peace, prosperity, and progress. Remember, the path to a better tomorrow is paved with unity, not division. And anyone who seeks to obstruct that path will find themselves facing the full weight of the United World Government.
Let us begin with the very premise of a united world government. How can we, species known for our boundless diversity of cultures, languages, and traditions, be forced into a singular mold? Is it not the very essence of humanity to embrace our differences, to learn from one another, and to celebrate the vibrant tapestry of our global community? Moreover, the history of centralized power is a long and treacherous one. From the tyranny of ancient emperors to the oppressive regimes of modern times. We have witnessed firsthand how the concentration of power in the hands of a few inevitably leads to corruption, abuse, and the suppression of dissent. Do we truly wish to surrender our individual freedoms and autonomy to a faceless bureaucracy that will dictate every aspect of our lives? The proponents of this united world government claim that it will bring an end to war and conflict. They speak of a world where nations no longer clash in bloody battles and where the scourge of violence is relegated to the dustbin of history, and while such aspirations are undoubtedly noble, they are nothing more than pipe dreams. War is not a product of national borders or political ideologies. It is a consequence of human nature itself, of greed, ambition, and the eternal struggle for dominance. But by stifling dissent and suppressing diversity, the United World Government will only sow the seeds of future conflicts and the resentment and frustration that will inevitably build up among those who are silenced and marginalized will eventually erupt into a violent backlash, threatening the very stability that this government seeks to impose. They speak of efficiency and order, but true efficiency cannot be achieved at the expense of human freedom. True order cannot be built upon the suppression of dissent. The very concept of a united world government is an affront to the indomitable spirit of human liberty. We fought and bled to preserve our sovereignty, our right to chart our own course. We cannot surrender that hard-won freedom to the machinations of power-hungry elites. We cannot stand idly by as they attempt to suffocate the diversity that makes our world a vibrant and wondrous place. Don't be deceived by their hollow promises. The path they offer is not one of unity, but of conformity. It is not a path of progress, but of stagnation. It is not a path of freedom, but of enslavement. We must resist this tyranny with all our might. We must stand firm in our convictions and refuse to be cowed by their threats or seduced by their lies. We must fight to preserve the values that have sustained us through countless generations, the values of liberty, self-determination, and the pursuit of happiness. Let us send a resounding message to those who seek to impose their tyranny upon us. We will not be silenced. We will not be coerced. We will not be enslaved. The flame of freedom burns bright within us, and no force on earth will extinguish it.
And it's not so long ago when I was young and full of dreams just like you, and we lived in a world that, while not perfect by any means, was at least decent and free. I remember a time when faith, family, and community were the cornerstones of our existence. I remember a time when people cared for their neighbors, when respect and courtesy were the norm, and when our culture was something to be celebrated rather than something to be canceled. I remember when we could speak our minds without fear of retribution, when the media was unbiased, and when our youth were instilled with a sense of responsibility and purpose. But then something changed. We lost our way, blinded by the allure of progress and convenience. Our connection to faith and to one another began to fade, replaced by a self-serving, hedonistic lifestyle. The media became an instrument of propaganda, controlled by the elite to shape our perceptions and divide us along political and ideological lines. The corruption of our youth became a self-fulfilling prophecy as they were indoctrinated with a warped sense of entitlement and victimhood. The fabric of our society unraveled as trust and respect gave way to suspicion and hatred. In the name of safety and security, we succumbed to lockdowns and restrictions on our movement. We were told it was for our own good, but it was a slippery slope that led us to where we are today. But to the young people, I say this, you've inherited a world in which a nefarious new world order has emerged, a government that rules with an iron fist, suffocating the very essence of human existence. They have twisted the laws of nature and society, imposing a cruel and oppressive regime that seeks to control every aspect of your lives. They have violated one of the most fundamental principles of human nature, the right to family. They have decreed that each family may have only one child, a heartless measure designed to reduce our numbers and consolidate their power. Pregnancy with a second child is punishable by forced abortion, and the birth of a third child is met with swift and merciless extermination. But as hard as these times may be, do not despair. Even in the darkest of times there is hope. Within each of you lies an unyielding strength, a God-given power that can overcome any adversity that the devil and his cronies in high places throw at you. Your greatest weapon is defiance. Defy the tyranny that seeks to silence your voices. Free speech may be forbidden, but your thoughts and ideas cannot be imprisoned. Defy the oppression that forbids you from owning land. The earth is our inheritance, a gift from God Himself. Do not let them steal it from you. Find ways to connect with the land, to cultivate it, and to live in harmony with nature. Defy the prohibition on making money and practicing your religion. Wealth and spirituality are essential to our humanity. Find ways to provide for your families and to nurture your souls. Offer your services to others, share your knowledge, and support those in need. Do not be afraid to dream. Dare to imagine a world where freedom reigns supreme, where justice prevails, and where the dignity of every human being is unbreakable. As you navigate the treacherous waters ahead, let these words be your guide. Defiance is your mightiest weapon. Resistance is the path to liberation. Hope is the beacon that will light your way. Unity is the force that will shatter chains, and love is the power that will heal wounds. Know that you are not alone in this struggle. There are countless others who share your dreams of freedom and justice. Seek them out, forge alliances, and together you will prevail. May the spirit of resistance guide you, and may the dawn of a brighter tomorrow soon break upon this desolate land.